think it might be a good time to do a little post-mortem on some of this and maybe dive into some of this, ask some questions, maybe pat ourselves on the back, and maybe uncover some pain points that we have. So I've been scribbling down a few thoughts. Not sure which I will start with, but I guess I wanted to add one thing to all of this that I think is worth noting. We've been speaking about this right now, specifically in terms of personnel and how personnel has, made different personnel or additional personnel have solved a lot of these problems. But I think another big thing to highlight is that there's been a lot of tech and a lot of software that we've employed that has also helped a lot.
True.
So I mean, our tech stack, if you will, obviously Slack is a big part of it. That's maybe the backbone of everything. It's what we use to communicate. Obviously, cloud-based document management stuff like Google Drive is huge. But I would say something like Guesty has also played a big part in this, in centralizing and sort of legitimizing our operations as short-term rental operators. Various pricing tools.
Yep.
I think we've been experimenting with some cleaning and maintenance tools that we've signed up with, and that specifically has been Breezeway. I don't think the utilization of it has been what we had hoped, but I think it's still in its relative infancy. I don't think I guess at this point, I don't think the issue necessarily has been the platform itself. I think it has been more so on the execution of how to use that platform. I'd say QuickBooks and Wave, the accounting softwares we use, those have been huge. I would highlight QuickBooks specifically. It has its quirks and it has its there's a little bit of a learning curve. Certain things can be a little bit complex, but there's a reason why I think it's sort of the most ubiquitous of the accounting tools out there, and bookkeeping tools out there. And I think a lot of the proper accounting practices that we practice now are a result of using a software that sort of encourages certain best practices. So shout out to Gurley for carrying those out and for kind of showing us the way with a lot of those things. But I think the right
Gurley
software
is our bookkeeper, right, just to reference it.
But I think the right software can really lead you right. Any other software that comes to mind?
Well, I think we've experimented with a lot of different software platforms, and I think that we're continuing to do that. I mean, just even, we're developing kind of an online presence, but I think having other channels to accept bookings through, which Guesty has facilitated, has been important.
Yep.
So direct bookings, we're now going to be on Marriott through their short-term rental program, booking.com, that sort of stuff has been cool.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily
Vrbo,
software. Vrbo, it's not necessarily a software platform, I suppose, that we're directly implementing with, but just having that, it doesn't really impact necessarily our productivity, I suppose, in the sense, but just having that as a expansion of our business has been nice.
Yeah, that's a great point. There are probably others, and I don't want to shortchange any.
iMessage.
Frankly, iMessage, WhatsApp.
SMS.
Yeah.
The phone.
Yeah.
Don't forget to visit us at BxBreakRealEstate.com for free content to help you along your real estate journey and to follow along on our projects. Subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app and engage with us online via Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and BxBreakRealEstate.com. See you next time on the Brick by Brick Podcast.